Hey everyone, welcome to Good Heart Farmstead. I'm Kate. I am one of the farmers here, and I'm also the writer behind The Good Heart Life. And I take a lot of photos. I post a lot on Instagram. If you're not following me there, you can check them out at Good Heart Farmstead. But one thing I haven't done is brought you on a video tour through the fields. So I'm excited to show you more of Good Heart Farmstead today. So come along with me through the fields and I will show you what we do here. So when we first started Good Heart, we lived in this sweet little yurt over here. We lived there for about 2.5 years. That's where our son was born, and that is where the farm was born too. Now we live in this farmhouse, which is still evolving on its own as well. But everything started here in the yurt. And part of that was because we didn't have a huge amount of financing, but we did have a yurt. We could hook up to the power pole. We could bring our sheep to graze in the field and just get started. We no longer have sheep or any livestock, but this is the field that they originally started in. Now it is our flower field. This area is getting slowly planted with perennials, so we've got some nice, beautiful yarrow coming up and sunflowers, some echinacea over here, and more will be filled in. We use this black plastic to smother out the grass, and that will then get planted with some buckwheat and perennial flowers later in the season. One of our favorite parts of Good Heart are the mountains and waking up to this each day. We power our farm with solar power, and just beyond the solar panels is our original seed house. Now, when we moved here with our sheep, we needed a barn, so we built this as the sheep barn and added the seed house onto it. It worked out really well for the first few years, except for the fact that it was wood heated. So in the spring, Edge would bring a sleeping bag down here and sleep in the seed house while he woke up every few hours to stoke the fire. Now, up above, we'll head up there in a little bit, but now we have a greenhouse and a hoop house just beyond. So let's head up there and I'll show you that area. Now, on our way up to the greenhouse, I'm excited to show you our raspberries. We focus mainly on annual crops. You can see our lettuce just beyond here. But more and more, we add in perennials as well. Part of our vision for the farm has always been to be a patchwork of perennial and annual agriculture. And we may eventually get some more livestock again, but we love the raspberries. Ooh, there's a butterfly. I was just gonna say we love raspberries, flowers, perennial crops for creating more habitat and homes for beneficial insects, which then help us decrease pest issues. So the raspberries are delicious and functional in many ways. This area where our lettuce currently is was our first block when we started the farm. We started on just about a 1/4 acre. We now grow on just about 1.5 acres. And now we will head up to the greenhouse where everything starts in the spring. So up above the raspberries and the old seed house and sheep barn and the crops, we have our greenhouse. We put this up in 2015 and we grow a lot of crops in here. So from the winter through the spring, we have different greens, and now it's a mishmash of a lot of different crops. We have cucumbers, some flowering arugula all the way on the end, more cucumbers, and different greens, lettuces, chard, cucumbers again, peas, and beyond that, we will move into the tomatoes. This year we are also growing tomatoes in our hoop house so we can offset, so we can switch around where the crops are grown. We like to be able to flip crops from one place to another to decrease pest issues, disease issues, and help make sure that the soil is more balanced. Here's our broad fork, one of our all-time favorite tools. And in the summertime, we continually seed. So here are some flats of new crops that will end up getting succession sown or succession planted later on over the next few weeks. And as we go out, here are some more plants being hardened off, getting ready to go out into the field, and the hoop house out beyond. This is one of my favorite spots because I can kind of stand in the middle of the farm, see flowers on the outside, crops tended to on the inside, and the mountains out there in the middle. This is one of our few flat spaces. So as you can see, we are on a hillside and we've done some terracing, but mostly we have raised beds that we raise each year again with the broad fork, and everything is on a hillside. We've got some potatoes underneath this row cover. When we were looking for land, the hillside didn't scare us off. We had met on a hillside farm in Esther, Alaska, so we were used to hills. We also were looking for land in the midst of 2011, which is when Tropical Storm Irene hit Vermont, and so many farms flooded that all of a sudden hillside farming, though it does have its challenges, flooding is not one of them. So we took a chance, and so far, despite challenges, we are really happy to be here. Underneath this netting, we have strawberries growing. I'll show you a beautiful red strawberry. Look at that, right in there. Really exciting. Well, I'm gonna leave it for our afternoon picking. But we've got strawberries. This is our first year growing them. And then along this bank, we've planted different perennials. We've got lavender right here, which will start to bloom, some wildflowers, and we sowed this bank last year so that we could, so that it would help with erosion control. One of the tenets of organic farming is to keep the soil covered. And one of the things I love about these kind of wild spots is the fact that there are so many different pollinators that come, and we get to see how wildness and cultivated areas really work together. Here's one of my favorite flowers, yarrow, with some daisies. And up beyond here is our hoop house and the third section of our field. And here's the inside of our hoop house. The difference between a greenhouse and a hoop house is that a hoop house is not heated and a greenhouse is. So this is where we grow a whole host of crops. During the winter and spring, it's mostly greens. Now we have tomatoes, kale, cucumbers hiding underneath the row cover, peppers, eggplant, and celery and fennel, and so much goodness. So hoop houses are some of our favorite things because they help us really extend the season and grow in protected areas. And this is one of our other few flat areas, which makes it all the nicer too. So we're gonna head back out and I'm gonna show you our little orchard, which is tucked away on the far side of the farm. So on the north side of our hoop house is one of my favorite secret spots. I say secret because not many people come visit out here. It's farther away from like the main public area of the farm. But this is our orchard, very small, just starting. We have pears, plums, and apples. And I I love it. I just love fruit. I love perennials. I love the feeling of planting something and being able to tend to it year after year and really see it grow. And I also love the mountains out here. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing the farm from some new angles and learning a bit more about what we do. And if you have any questions, send me an email, check out my website, thegoodheartlife.com. Say hello to me on Instagram at Good Heart Farmstead. And if you really want to hang out, sign up for my email list. You'll find a link to it below this video and on my website, thegoodheartlife.com. Thank you so much for being here. Sow seeds, keep growing, and have a very beautiful day.